In this video, we're going to be looking at basics of AutoCAD. If you're new to AutoCAD, you can watch this video and then be pretty familiarized with just the setup. This will probably take about 20 minutes just to be able to set up your drawing and to know how to download a drawing, open a drawing, set up a drawing, and go through your basic commands to where you can use your keyboard and your mouse to quickly be able to draw something in AutoCAD. All right, so you're in your email. You should be in your email at this point if you're watching this video. Why is this? Okay. And you are going to come over here to use this new title block. You're going to click on this title block. You're going to download it. It is a DWG file. That is the file extension for AutoCAD files. Once you've downloaded it, you're going to go into AutoCAD. So I'm assuming you have AutoCAD open. I'm going to keep this open, cancel. This is what we want to get to. We want to get to, at the end of this series, we want to get you to be able to draw something basic, not necessarily this, but even just a part of this, even just the back half of this house. You need to be able to draw it to scale, and dimension it. And then you need to be able to put it, so now I'm down here in my left hand corner, into one of these sheets. So you have to have sheets set up. And that means you have to be able to use a title block. Because when you look at these layouts down here, when you look at these layout tabs down here that I have labeled, first floor, second floor, 30 by 42, 8.5 by 11, legal ledger, those are all sheet sizes. So when you're drawing in AutoCAD, you're in model space, which is down in the bottom left hand corner. You're in model space, but there's also something called paper space. So you can come on these tabs and now you've got paper space. And inside your paper space, you have a viewport. And if I take my hand and I type out MS for model space while I'm in a viewport, MS, enter. Now I'm inside that viewport. When you set up your viewports, and I'm going to go ahead and hit escape and do PS for paper space. So paper space. So model space, paper space. You need to know that. And I'm going to write it down over here. So you need to know MS for model space, PS for paper space. And you can go back and forth between model space and paper space on your layout tabs. Now, when you click over here in model, you're just in model space. This is just model space. Okay? But when you're in your layouts, and you will have to do this, you have to lay out your drawing in paper space to scale. So just understand that this is a viewport, and you can actually move this. So if I type M for move, and I click, I can actually move that viewport. And I can still go into MS, enter, and I'm in that viewport. Does that make sense? PS, enter, now I'm in paper space. And I can move this thing. So that's what's happening on your paper space. So that's one part of this CAD Foundation challenge, that you will have to understand paper space. So that's why I have given you a title block to use. So at this point, you should have downloaded that file that I gave you. And you are going to then click in the top left hand corner of your CAD, the little symbol for CAD. So you're going to click on CAD, and you're going to open, and you're going to open an existing drawing file. So that's when you have to go find it in your computer. Now, it should be in your downloads. And it doesn't look like I have my downloads here. But you click on it and it should be in your downloads. Mine is right here in my documents. But you just downloaded it, so you just go and find your downloads. and then click on it and open it. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to open it. And you see how it is a .dwg file. Okay. All right. And then here it is. And so now what I want you to do before we do anything else is learn how to set up a paper space. Okay. Because you're going to have to do this. So if you go over here and you go into Schoology and you go into this TSA competition blue folder and you go right here to complete middle school guide and you pull it up. This is CAD Foundations, page 105. This is everything you're going to need to do. All views, constructive geometry, and orientation have been selected and used are correct or in proper layout. All correct line types are used or in correct locations. All of the necessary dimensions are included and correctly placed. This includes hole and thread notes if applicable. The title block, this is the part that I'm showing you right now. The title block is present and contains all required elements, scale, title of drawing, student ID, and date. There is an overwhelming evidence that student can read and interpret mechanical drawings, and a complete and effective understanding and application of CAD foundations or functions is evident. Okay, so this is the part right now we're on title block. All the other videos I'll be doing will be addressing all of this. Okay, so these videos are very concentrated onto what this is asking us for. So that's what I'm showing you. Okay, so now that we have our title block in there, and we are and that drawing should open you up into layout space. So if you look in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, we are in layout 1. You can switch back and forth between model space, layout 1, model space, layout 1. Now, if you go to model space, you'll notice there is nothing in here. We haven't drawn anything. So let's go ahead and draw something real quick. Also, another command that you need to know that I've used was the move command, and then it's M for move. Okay. All right, so now let's zoom in. Oh, understand this about your mouse. You have a 3-button mouse. You have a left click or click. So if I say click, I mean left click. You have a right click, and then you have a middle scroll wheel, which is also a button. This is a 3-button mouse, and your middle mouse scroll wheel is a middle mouse button. So you can press that button and drag back and forth, and you are in your pan tool. Okay, and so you're going to have to know how to do that. All right, so now up here at the top, there's a lot going on up here at the top, but we're going to mostly stay in our home tab. But if you follow with me, you can click on home tab, insert, annotate, parametric, view, manage, output, add-ins, collaborate, express tools, feature apps. Okay, but let's go ahead and draw something real quick. But before we do that, I have to know that your mouse is set up correctly. So you're going to learn how to set up and also set up your units, because we want our units to be in inches. We want to be drawing in inches and feet. Okay, so you need to come up here again to the little AutoCAD symbol, and you're going to click on the little AutoCAD symbol. And then you're going to come down. That AutoCAD symbol is your Save As dialog box. That's going to give you all your save options, print options, export options. Okay, little symbol in the top left-hand corner. So you're going to come down over here where it says Drawing Utilities. And this is something you need to do right at the beginning of your challenge. You need to make sure that your AutoCAD is set up correctly. So you're going to go to Drawing Utilities, and we are going to go to Units. And we're going to click on Units. And right here it says, and I think this is the default for AutoCAD files, is decimal. You need to click right here where it says Type for length and change it to architectural. And notice that your scale should be in inches. Your precision is down to 1/16 of an inch. And that's what we want. 1/16 of an inch is the tiniest little tick mark on a ruler. So you know this. If I'm looking at this ruler and this is 1 inch, If you count the tiniest little tick mark, there are 16 in here. So that is 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so that's what we want our precision to be. Angle should be in decimal degree. Insertion scale, make sure that says inches. Lighting, international, that's okay. Hit OK. All right, so now we're drawing in feet and inches. Then another thing that you need to do is come back over here to CAD, click on CAD, and come down here to where it says options. Click on options, and you're going to go to, it should open you up to files, but you're going to go through here. These are all a bunch of settings. We might end up changing some of these when we do dimensioning, but right now we're just user preferences. So getting your mouse set up to where you're set up the same way as me, because you're going to see you're going to have to click to engage, left click, you're going to have to click to engage, right click to execute, left click to you know, you're going to have to be to disengage, left click to then repeat last command. So you're going to have to do a bunch of stuff on your mouse. So in order for you to be able to be set up like mine, you need to have double click editing, shortcut menus in right. Yeah, that's okay. Click right here on right click customization. So right click customization, you want this to be checked. You want, if no objects are selected, right click means repeat last command. This has to be selected. And if yours looks different, uncheck this and you'll be able to switch these. Okay? But this needs to say repeat last command. So if you turn this on, turn this off, you can set it. Okay? So uncheck this right now to be able to change these. So repeat last command. If one or more objects are selected, right click means shortcut menu. And if a command is in progress, right click means shortcut menu. Wait a second, do I want that? If a command is in progress, right click means. We might end up changing this later, but leave this for right now. And then once you have this set up, come click over here on turn on time sensitive right click. And then click apply and click apply and OK. All right, so now our mouse is set up. Now we're going to come over here and we're going to go to your rectangle tool. Now you can click on rectangle tool. You can click on it and then zoom in here. Now you notice that when I zoom in, it's not snapping to that point because we don't have it set up to snap. So it might look like I'm drawing there, but that's not exact. You see how it's off? So we need to set up our on snap settings. So you're going to come down here where it says model and paper space. So you have some more settings down here on your bottom right. You're going to come over here to this little grid. If you put your mouse over it, the little dots, it says snap mode and snap mode, F9. Click on that. Click on the little arrow next to it and go to your snap settings. Okay. We're on snap and grid. We want our snap to be on. Snap is F9. You need to know this. So F9, which is one of your function keys, this isn't anything you'll be typing. F9 is your function key, and you're going to use this a lot. F9, that's your function key. You're going to be pressing your function key a lot. F9, 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 F9 to snap and unsnap, which means snap means that you're snapping to the grid. So click, let's see what we got. We have grid snap. Yes, we want to snap to the grid. Rectangular snap. Yes, I'm okay. Isometric. We're not doing any 3D, so that's okay. We want our grid to be on. Grid spacing is a 1/2 inch by a 1/2 inch. Yep, that's all good. So now you're just going to click F9 for snap on. Now notice what happens. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to click on this thing and I'm going to hit delete. Backspace will not delete this. You must press the delete button on your keyboard. So you need to know where delete is, not backspace. Because I can click backspace all day long and it's not deleting that rectangle. You have to click delete. And actually now delete doesn't even like it. Hold on. There it goes. All right. So now when I go to my rectangle tool, oops, it's snapping. Do you see how it's snapping? It's snapping to that grid. And notice that the grid, see that? It's snapping to the grid. That's what you want for right now, okay? Just learn how to use the grid as a snap. Now we can turn the grid on and off, but if you want to, let's just say you don't want to snap. Type F9 right now. Type F9, and now your snap is off. So if you look right here, it's off. Type F9 again, it's on, off, on. So you can click. Now, I just drew a rectangle. So if I do right click, it's going to go right back to my rectangle command. That's called repeat last command. Now I'm going to click. I can draw another rectangle and it snaps. Now click F9. Take your snap off. Now right click to go back into repeat last command. Now I'm back in my rectangle. But am I snapping to my grid point? No, I can freely draw. Ooh, right click to get back. I can freely draw some more rectangles, right? And they're not snapping. F9 to snap. Okay, so understand that that's what's happening there. Let's go back to, no, let's keep going. All right, so now let's just say you have some rectangles drawn. Also, if you want the fast way of doing rectangle is RECT. You don't have to click on the rectangle command, but if you want to, you can. You can also type in RECT and hit enter, and it will take you into the rectangle command. And I will show you how to draw rectangles to precise dimensions in the next video, okay? Because this video is almost done. I just needed to show you how to set up, insert a title block, and all that good stuff. And understand model space and paper space. Now let's go to the model space. So now I'm paper space. So now we have something in model space, right? So you're going to go out to layout 1. And now we're in paper space. Okay. Now, actually, let's go ahead and turn our grid off. Go back to model space and come down here by your snap settings. And you see the grid. You can click on this, turn on grid, turn off grid, on, off. Turn it off for right now. Okay. Now come back to layout space. And for some reason, it's still showing. Type out the word region, REGEN, and hit enter. That will regenerate your layout. So you need to know this one as well. Nothing happened. So never mind. Okay, so let's click inside this model space. So put your mouse over this, this viewport. So if you click on this, if you click once and then hit escape, and you have to know your escape key too. Your escape key, top left-hand corner. This is going to be your best friend on your keyboard. That's how you get out of a command that you're currently in that you don't want to be in. So if I click on this and it's selected, just so you know, I'm going to go ahead and hit escape. Now I'm going to click on it. This is a viewport. And then I'm going to double click and it should take me inside paper space. I'm sorry, it should take me inside model space. Now here's the thing, I still see my grids and that's annoying. So come over here and turn off your grids. You can also have your on snap here as well. So you have your snap, which is F9, and you have your grid. We can take the on snap off. It doesn't matter right now. You can have it on too. All right, so you can see how you can zoom in, right? Well, we want this to be at 1/4 scale. So let's just go ahead and zoom in right here. And you can still pan around in this thing. Like it's zoom out to where whatever you have drawn is there. It's fine. And then type in PS. PS, enter, and that'll take you into paper space. Type, double click on this viewport, and it'll take you into model space. PS, paper space. Okay. Now we need to be able to draw this to scale. Now, if you noticed, when we drew this out in model, if I go to my model space and I click on my grids, each one of these grids is a 1/2 inch, right? So I just drew a 1/2 inch square by 1/2 inch square. And you can go over here to do your dimension, and you can click once on there and once on there, and it will tell you this is 2.5. Wait, what? Control Z. How is that 2.5? If this is a quarter, 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 I don't know how that's 2.5. Okay, well, we're not going to deal with that right now. But okay, let's just say we want to print this out at scale. You're going to have to do that. Go into your layout, layout 1. And my AutoCAD is tripping right now. When your AutoCAD starts to trip out, like mine, I'm clicking on layout 1 and it doesn't want to go back to layout 1. It doesn't want to go into paper space right now. Let's go ahead and save this thing. Go over here to your AutoCAD icon in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Click on CAD and just click on save. Actually, let's go save as. Save as, and you can save wherever you're saving. And you're going to name this thing new title block. Take out the word example and type in your initials. So whatever your initials are, capital A, capital G, whatever, then go ahead and hit save. And notice that you have now saved it to a new name up here. Now let's see if sometimes that'll help regenerate. Now I'm going to click on my layout. Now it's going to let me go. So understand that AutoCAD is an extremely large app, and it will pull a lot of memory from your computer. So try to make sure you don't have anything else open on your computer when you're doing AutoCAD, okay? All right, so now we're in paper space. We need to scale this, and actually, let's move this title block over. Let's click on our model space, and let's move it. So I'm going to actually escape. I'm going to type in M for move. Then it's going to tell me to select objects. I'm going to select that. So I clicked on it. Now I'm going to right click to get into the actual command and execute. It's asking me for a base point. So it wants to know from what point I want to move. So I'm going to go to this base point and I'm going to click, and then I'm going to move it. I'm just moving. I'm not dragging. And then I am going to click, move it all the way over. Not to where you go into your bleed lines. So you see those dashed lines? That's your print lines. Don't go beyond that, but go right up to it and click. So now I moved that thing. Now you're going to put your mouse over here, click, right click. You're going to get your menu. You're going to click on move. You're going to click your base point, because always look what it's asking you. It says specify base point, right? That little thing says specify base point. We're going to specify this top base point, and I'm going to zoom in. Always grab from a point. And I'm just going to move this thing over. And it doesn't fit exactly on this, but we'll scale it down. And I am going to, actually, let's put it to where the bottom fits on there. Click. So now you've got your title bar. And that is going to be it for, actually, let's scale this down. Let's go to our scale. Scale command, that's SC, scale. Then it's asking me to select an object. So I hit SC. That's scale. You're going to need to know that. I hit SC and then enter. And if I'm going too fast, please pause, go do it, and come back. Because if you try to rush through this, understanding how to use your mouse and all the other parts, you're not going to be able to keep up. So make sure you go slow through this video and you can do everything I'm doing. Okay? So pause as many times and repeat as many times as you need until you get it. Now, we are inside an actual command. We're in the scale command. We need to make this thing a little bit smaller. So it's asking me, what objects do I want to select? I want to select this title block. This is called a title block. Click. And then I'm going to right click to engage now, or to execute, but it's still asking me I need to specify a base point. Well, I want to specify this base point right here. And then I'm going to click. Now it's asking me for a scale factor. I don't really need a scale factor. I'm just going to, if you notice, if I pull my mouse back and I move it around, this thing is getting big. I'm going to pull it back this way, and I want to scale this. And you can pan while you're actively inside a command. But do you see what's happening here? And you need to be able to do this. Do you see how I'm scaling it? I'm making it bigger or smaller. I just want to make it a little bit smaller so it fits on the page. So you see that top red line? I'm going to bring that down to about right there. And then I am going to click. And now I've scaled my title block on my model space. Now in the next video, I'm going to show you how to scale this drawing. And then once we have our paper space set up, then we can actually go into AutoCAD and start drawing out our floor plans, and I can show you the rest. But this is title block. This is a title block. This is paper space. We will have to do some more setup on the paper space, but I think this is good for this video. If you can do all that, you're doing pretty good. Remember, if you accidentally have something selected, hit escape. Escape's going to be your best friend. And if you screw up and you do something wrong, just hold down. This is also going to be your best friend. Control plus Z. That is undo. If you hold down Control and hit Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, it'll undo. Control Y is redo. Let me make sure that works. Control Z. Yep. Control Z. Yep. Control Y. Does that make sense? Control Z is undo. I undid my scale. Control Y is redo. I redid my scale. Okay. Also make sure when you're moving around in AutoCAD that you're not actively in a command. So make sure that you are pressing that escape key. And escape is this key that says ESC. Okay. Because the last thing you want to do is accidentally scale this whole entire thing. So now you're going to go ahead and you're going to go to your AutoCAD icon and you're going to click on save. You have already saved this drawing. The only other thing that you should probably do is save it to your Google Drive as well. I can show you that in the next video. But if you like this video, go ahead and click on like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.